the world is silent. A clock ticks in the distance. City lights shimmer under a dark sky. Yet, no one sleeps. No eyes close. No minds drift away. Every street, every home, every human being remains fully awake. Hour after hour, night after night. Imagine standing in that world. A world where sleep, the force that has ruled human biology since the beginning of time, suddenly becomes unnecessary. No exhaustion. No dreams. No nights lost to darkness. Just endless wakefulness. For thousands of years, humans have lived under a simple truth: half the day is ours. Half belongs to sleep. We surrender to it. We depend on it. Without sleep, the brain decays, the body collapses, and life ends. But what if that rule changed? What if humans evolved, or engineered, the ability to survive without ever closing their eyes? Before we step into this alternate world, we must understand the force we are about to remove. Sleep is not a convenience. It's a biological command. It repairs cells, regenerates muscles, balances hormones, and cleans toxins from the brain. Without it, reality falls apart. So to imagine a sleepless humanity, we must imagine an entirely new kind of human. A brain capable of repairing itself in real time. A nervous system that never needs to shut down. A mind that processes memories and emotions continuously, even while fully awake. Something that no human today has ever experienced. In this new world, the brain would operate like a dolphin's, one hemisphere resting while the other remains alert. You would be conscious at all times, yet constantly self-repairing. Hormones that rely on circadian rhythms would shift into a steady pattern. Melatonin would lose its purpose. The concept of night would become cultural instead of biological. Memory would evolve too. Instead of needing dreams to organize experiences, the brain would store and sort information instantly. Humans would learn faster, adapt faster, and think with unprecedented clarity. But without dreams, the subconscious would lose its most ancient outlet. A world without dreaming is a world without emotional release, without symbolic stories, without the strange mental landscapes that have shaped art, fears, creativity, and imagination. To understand how radical this is, we must remember what sleep means today. Without it, after 24 hours, we lose focus. After 48 hours, the body begins to break. After 72 hours, the mind starts to hallucinate. Sleep deprivation has ended careers, destroyed health, and even taken lives. Sleep holds our biology together. It keeps our emotions stable and our memories sharp. It connects day to night, work to rest, reality to the subconscious. So what would happen if humans suddenly no longer needed it? At first, the world would explode with opportunity. Cities would never slow down. Midnight streets would be as busy as morning markets. Businesses would run 24 hours without interruption. Productivity would rise to levels we can hardly imagine. Every person would gain 1/3 more time, a lifetime extended by decades simply because we never shut down. Transportation systems would change overnight. Flights would run constantly with no red-eye exhaustion. Long-distance travel would be easier, safer, and faster. Accidents caused by fatigue, one of the leading causes of global disasters, would nearly disappear. Families would experience time differently. Parents would have more hours to raise children. Schedules would spread across the entire 24-hour cycle instead of clustering around daytime. Society would split into endless patterns of activity. Some people might prefer the deepest hours of the night, when cities grow quieter but never completely still. The global workforce would transform. Factories, hospitals, governments, schools, everything would operate around the clock. Innovation would accelerate. Research labs would never pause. Scientific discovery would advance at a pace that could alter the course of history. Humans would become a species of relentless progress. But not everything would be brighter. A world without sleep is a world without boundaries. Days and nights would blur together. Humans would no longer experience the psychological reset that sleep once provided. Even if we could survive without it physically, our minds would still struggle to divide time emotionally. Without dreams, creativity might shift. Art could change. Stories built from the subconscious might fade. Human imagination might become more logical, sharper, but less abstract. Societies would face new forms of burnout. Not the exhaustion we know today, but something deeper, mental saturation. Without a natural pause, humans would need new kinds of rest, meditation, isolation chambers, sensory breaks, or enforced downtime. Rest would evolve even if sleep disappeared. Nature would change too. Cities glowing endlessly would drown out the night sky. Animals that depend on darkness would suffer. The global ecosystem, built on cycles of light and rest, would struggle against a species that lives in constant motion. Generations later, culture itself would transform. The idea of a day might vanish. Timekeeping would shift from morning and evening to endless flows of activity. Humanity would become something new, no longer tethered to the Earth's rotation, no longer defined by its ancient biological rhythms, a species fully awake, permanently conscious. And yet, something would be lost. The quiet moments, the drifting of the mind, the reset that allows emotion and memory to settle, the fragile, mysterious world of dreams that has shaped myth, religion, art, and identity. In gaining more hours, we might lose the very thing that makes us human. More time, but less meaning. More focus, but fewer dreams. More life, but a colder one. So the question becomes, if humanity could eliminate sleep, would we become more powerful, or would we become something unrecognizable? And if we can remove one of the oldest limits of biology, what will we try to remove next? What if the future of humanity isn't sleepless, but something even more unimaginable?